why don't my sales partners in Canada do a better job? If you're not born in Canada and you're now doing business in Canada, you're in the right place. Click here the subscribe button, set up the alert, and if the content of this video is useful to you, let us know by clicking the like button. So what do we see very often is this following situation, right? Foreign-based company is now in Canada and they find a great channel to sell their product in the market. Could be a representative, an agency, a distributor, or in the case of things like software, could be an integrator, right? So in any ways, you find an intermediary that will do the sales job for you. That's a company, it's not an employee you hired, right? You're engaging with a sales partner, right? And this sales partner typically is a company that's very well established in Canada. They have great contacts in the local market. And what I hear from people is, we gave them everything they need and they're not generating results. And this is the anatomy of the complaint that I receive, right? People come to me and they say, well, our company has a very strong track record back home. We have great products, great service, great technology, great clients, and we entered in a contract with this Canadian business because they have this very strong local network in Canada, and so far is really we are seeing a very disappointing level of activity and poor results, right? And another thing I hear from people along this rationale, along this line of thought, is like, well, this company that I have a contract with, they don't seem to have the motivation. They're not prioritizing my product line or my software or something. And finally, when you connect all these dots of strong track record back home, and the local company here does have a very strong network of contacts, right? But you're seeing very disappointing levels of activity and disappointing results. And then the conclusion is maybe they lack motivation, not prioritizing. The conclusion that puts all this together is like, these people are incompetent. They're incompetent, or worse, they lack integrity. They promised me this, and that, but they're really not, they just want my money, right? So that's a very unfortunate conclusion. And let me tell you, from experience and from living in Canada for 25 years, but not having been born and raised here in Canada, I can tell you, in the vast majority of the situations, this conclusion that these people here in Canada are incompetent or they don't have integrity, in the vast majority, this is not the correct conclusion, right? And there is something that can be done here. So how does that work? Well, we're gonna look at what is going wrong and how it can be fixed, okay? If this seems a little bit too complicated, remember, we do have our platform called Your Business in Canada, which is a platform that you come on board and we will be by your side along the way, and you will have the company of other immigrant business people that are also in Canada producing results, and we are in this together to build your success. So let's see what's happening then when your sales partners in Canada don't seem to be doing a good job. First thing, let's assume, of course, that your business did already a proper screening and you checked references. And this is very important in Canada. Nobody in Canada will be offended if you want to do more due diligence in who they are, right? If somebody positions themselves to you, say, hey, we're a great sales agency, we can help you sell, well, they will expect that professional clients, professional companies want to understand better why they're good at what they do, and they want to talk to other people who already benefited from that. But let's assume that you did do the proper screening and you did check a lot of references, and these people are real. They are in the market, they are here in Canada, making a lot of sales through their network of different products and services in your specific area of expertise. Then, assuming that the proper screening and the references were checked, then the next question we have is, remember, you require two things to develop this business and close the sales and so on. You need them to have the ability, but you also need them to have the willingness do they really want to do that? And this is where a lot of people make the mistake, and they forget something very basic about the human nature, right? This has to be a double step sale. Like, it's a two-step sale. Yes, they are going to sell your product or service to the clients in the end, to the customers, but you have to sell to them first. They need to buy first this idea that what you're selling is going to be good for them, for the intermediary, right? Because this is where you have to ask yourself, okay, what value do your products or services add to them, these sales partners you get into an agreement? What is it about your product and service that's better? Is it faster? Does it have better margins? Is it of a premium quality? Or does it meet a hole in the market where other competitors cannot fit? You really need to understand it. If you don't know, you say, well, I don't know all this. He's the expert on the local market, so he should know this. True, that's great. We're going to talk about this in a minute. The second thing about this double sale or the two-step sale, yes, you need to make sure there is value. And the second thing, you have to consider these substitution effects here, or opportunity cost. Remember, for this intermediary, distributor or integrator or representative to focus on selling what you have to sell, this time and energy that they use to sell your stuff, they're not selling other stuff that they could be selling. Because if their strength is to be in the market, they can be doing other things to make money too, right? So never underestimate the other options that they have. Are the other options better? Would they put more effort in selling your stuff than selling the other stuff they can be selling? How do you know all that? That's when you need to have the good conversation with them, the good relationship, the good understanding. Maybe like the first thing that has to come to this equation is your curiosity to ask what you need to do to make their lives easier. What does your business have to do and provide to this intermediary to make their lives easier in the market, right? Because here's the problem that I see often. I see foreign companies that were very successful in their country of origin. When they come to Canada, they come a little bit with the privilege mentality. They find somebody in the local market and they almost think like, oh, I'm going to give you the privilege to put my product in the market because my product, my service is better than because of this, and that. Sometimes it may be true, but I find that if you ask this person that knows the market or this institution that knows the market so well, what are the things that you can do to make their lives better? First, it shows respect for their expertise as opposed to coming with that top-down approach of, oh, I'm going to give you the privilege to sell my stuff in the local market and you're going to make a lot of money. Some people are like, yeah, sure, that's what everybody tells me, right? But if you start to be curious, is thinking, hey, tell me, how can I make your life easier? How can we make sure we really don't lose sales and it's good for you, good for me, and we can all make money? Like, be curious about what role can you play in the success. It's not just, oh, I already did all my work, that's why we created the product and service, here it is in the package, go there, sell, and now it's your turn to run with it. No, it's like, okay, are there things I can do to change it? The way how can I adapt what we are selling? Is there anything to do that in our strategy and approach that can be changed? Are we choosing the wrong channels? We're not attending the right conferences, or maybe we have to put a publication in an industry trade magazine. Like, what is the message that we want to convey? Do we have the materials in the right formats with the right tone to help you position this information out there so people want to buy from us? So there's all this adaptation that needs to happen based on the feedback that you will only receive if you're curious. Because if people are telling you things and you say, well, but it's your problem, I already did everything, I already give you gold here, just go and sell, then you're going to miss important factors that could lead to more sales, right? So in other words, we need to have an agreement here in a mutually beneficial, respectful relationship where, yes, they understand the market, and yes, your product is good, and everybody look at the other side and say, yeah, I will do better if I deal with them. It's great that he can position my product in the market, and for them it's going to be, oh yeah, it's great, this product really needs something. But you need to have communication beforehand to arrive at that conclusion. It's not just sending the product catalog and the price list, and it's going to become obvious, right? You need to have these conversations first, right? And finally, once, let's say, you understand and you agree and you produce the right materials with the right approach, and you're using the right channels, and you're giving them all the infrastructure they need to go and make the sale, you also have to mutually agree on how you're going to monitor progress. Because not just, okay, let's see, and we meet in 1 year, let's see how the numbers are. Well, maybe there are things that can be adjusted on an ongoing basis, right? Set up a little bit of a schedule of meetings and, hey, how are the meetings going? What is the negative feedback that you're getting? Is there anything we can do to make it better, or whatever, or what is working really well? How can we find more people like this? It has to be like a partnership. We cannot have this attitude just to delegate everything to the local sales partner. Oh, everything is ready. Our product, our service is perfect. We already tested in other markets and it works really well. And now we're giving you the privilege to put this in your hands, and you're here in Canada. Now go and sell. That's going to be a slam dunk and all of us are going to make a lot of money. Just go and do your thing because I already did mine. No, your work didn't end when you place the product or service in the hands of your sales partner. Now you need to tweak a little bit here, and there, so that based on their feedback that they're receiving from the market, you can tweak some things in your approach that will make, yes, a successful relationship for everybody. So it's about a partnership. It's about a win-win mentality as opposed to a privilege that I'm granting, right? So I find this is typically the main reason why sales partners in Canada don't seem to be yielding the results you would expect. Here are 2 more videos about this topic that will be helpful in your journey.